Yo, 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 what up? Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, aka the ZoWhat show host, is in the house. What's happening with y'all? You see, I'm representing Pasadena, California. Pasadena. Bam! Yeah. Hey, this brand is called Made in Dina. You should check them out, man. They on Facebook. Homeboy Jason and Steve. Up and out to Dina, man. Y'all should support them, man.
Jason
and
Steve.
and although they got like Dina gear, because if you from Pasadena, you understand, But they also are a full service garment printing company.
Oh.
So you can have your family reunion, your name, crafted into a particular design or logo. I mean, so I don't want you to think, oh, why would I buy some clothes from Made in Dina and I'm not from Pasadena or I'm not connected to the culture of Pasadena? No, it's not like that. I mean, like I said, a full service printing company. Just type in Made in Dina on Facebook and you'll see Jason and Steve. They'll pop right up. They'll pop right up. And I want you guys to tell them Zoe Williams did it. If you have a business and you guys want company shirts or anything like that, these guys have the ability to facilitate that, right? And they're an amazing brand, and I want to promote them and represent them, not just because they're from my city, but because they do exemplary work. Made in Dina.
Made in Dina.
Dina. Anyway. I want to say something real quick before I get into this promo. There's a documentary. There's a couple of documentaries that I want y'all to watch. But there's a YouTube video. It's about an hour long. It's called The Voice, the Singing, the Technique Explained. And it's the voice, the singing, the technique explained. And this particular episode is about Michael Jackson. And it explains the evolution of Michael's voice. I heard y'all people in there quoting, saying, Zoe Williams is such a Michael Jackson fan that he not going to give Usher his credit regarding the Super Bowl. Let me just say this.
Wow.
Usher, man, when you see black talented people, you see black magic. We are magical. I'm not here to besmirch the greatness of, Usher Raymond. Usher Raymond's been around since he was a kid, and he has been a talented kid for a long time.
But so has this guy.
Right? So, like, if you giving a profession, and I'm giving a professional opinion, right? As someone who looks at music a little differently than just, oh, this is the soundtrack of my life. I was actually giving you the soundtrack of your life. I was working on the soundtrack of your life, with many artists that I've worked with, so I don't look at it solely from the, when I was coming up, this is what I like. I don't look at it from that perspective. I look at it from marketing. I look at it from societal impact, global impact. And what's crazy is a friend of mine sent me a video of some white dude saying exactly what I said last week. And like I said, it's no disrespect to the greatness of Usher. Usher is great. I'm never going to besmirch his greatness. But I will apply a popular euphemism. and that is there's levels to this. And there's levels to greatness. Kenny G is great.
Kenny G is amazing.
But is he as great as Miles Davis?
No. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Usher is Kenny G. I'm not saying that. Usher is extraordinary. The dancing, the skating. I ain't never seen a nigga skate dance with a whole line crew. But who created the whole line crew?
Skate dance.
The line people behind him dancing. Nobody was doing that before Mike pulled that together in video format. So from video format, that transcends to, what's up, my brother? From video format, that transcends to live performance format. What up, my brother? You might as well jump on in here, man. You might as well jump on in.
Scoot on over. Scoot on over a little bit more.
Boy, I'm hanging like a motherfucker. Boy, I'm hanging like strange fruit right now.
Yeah, he's not even. Not even.
Don't leave me hanging. So, I haven't even gotten into the pre-show promo yet. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to disrespect Usher in any way, shape, or form. But this video somebody sent me today, I watched it, and what he was basically saying was the way that the industry is set up now, it's damn near virtually impossible to have international mega superstars in the numbers that we had back in the day.
Yeah.
He says just you. And so he was saying basically the same thing. I was saying Usher is exceptional as a performer, but he lacks the international impact that, say, a Michael Jackson, a Whitney Houston, a Celine Dion. You know, he was saying that he just doesn't have that. And when I said it last week, people was like, "Oh, Zo, you don't know what you're talking about. You showing your age." And I'm saying you got to understand, like, people, there's a consumer lover of music, and then there's the A&R, there's the producer, there's the label. It's a totally different approach to certain things. I say this all the time. Michael Jackson, you ask black folk, what's your favorite Michael Jackson album? Off rip, what do black people say?
Off the wall.
Off the wall, because it's a black album. Because black people be like, what the fuck is human nature? I like it, but it ain't R&B.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
But
Right.
why?
What is wanna be starting something? I mean, I can hear the black in it. I can hear the Africa in it. Mama say, mama sa, mamaku sa, but that ain't R&B. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, when you get certain artists, they know how to build records that affect different regions of the world.
Right.
What's your point, Zo? Love Usher. But that Super Bowl performance, it was just for us. It was Black History. I fuck with it. It's Black History. I fuck with Usher's performance. But that was no global, like, when you listen, man, y'all heard his latest album?
No.
No.
If you do the Super Bowl and your latest album ain't popping,
Right.
I'm just saying, like, everybody ain't talking about Usher's latest album right now. If you just did the Super Bowl and that latest album ain't sizzling, people ain't like, yo, what's happening with the Usher? You was on the biggest stage, the biggest platform in the world, my friend.
But I'm
Okay,
sorry.
no, you got it, sis. You got it. I have a question.
Go ahead, brother.
So, what year? I was gonna say, sis. What year did Prince and Michael Jackson do the Super Bowls?
Oh, what year?
Because Zoe just really just sparked a thought.
Prince, my nigga. Yeah, damn.
So what? No. I mean, what? It's about to validate or
Prince Super Bowl 2007.
okay.
Damn, that was 2007.
Oh no. So this is to your point though.
Wow.
This right here is about to hammer your point.
Yeah.
Because at 2007, what album did Prince have out that was like what you just said as far as that was killing at that point?
Michael Jackson was 1993.
And
Right.
and at 1993, what did Michael Jackson have out that was?
Oh yeah, dangerous.
But
2007, but they don't grab artists for the Super Bowl for the album that they got currently. They grab the artist based on the catalog,
the legacy.
the legacy.
So let's juxtapose what you're saying. The legacy of Prince and Michael Jackson, even at 1993 and
crazy.
2017, even
Or
without
2007.
What 2000? What was that? 2007. They didn't have megalithic albums out at that particular time.
They didn't need to.
But their legacy
Yeah.
qualified that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you're saying that Usher, juxtaposing that, doesn't have that.
No,
with
what
Prince
I'm
and
saying
Mike.
is, typically, and I'm not saying his numbers haven't gone up on all the different platforms, streaming platforms or whatever, because typically after a Super Bowl performance, you hear them come out and say, yo, his numbers is crazy, numbers got a boost or whatever. But what I'm saying is Usher dropped a new album shortly after the Super Bowl performance. And you would think that would also get a boost as well.
Got you.
And I'm saying you're not hearing buzz on the new album.
Not at all.
So I'm saying from having the platform of the Super Bowl, this is why the Super Bowl commercials cost 2, 3, 4 million a pop because of the global exposure.
Right.
So I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to besmirch the brother's legacy in any way, shape, or form. I'm not. Somebody was like, yo, Michael Jackson and Usher are the only two black artists to have a diamond single and a diamond something else, a diamond out. I'm with all that. I'm with all that. If you look at how the Super Bowl is picking acts, do you know most of the acts for the last 3, 4, 5 years have been from the 90s?
But my only kickback to everything, especially the argument with about the records, J-Lo was and Shakira was like they. Now Shakira, yes, because she's international, all kinds of stuff. But J-Lo, is she really known for her music like that to be on the Super Bowl?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But notice they had the wherewithal to slap her together
Oh, true.
with an international star,
Okay.
Right.
which is Shakira.
Right.
True.
They had the sense to go, oh, okay, wait a minute. J-Lo is big. Let's not get it twisted. Don't just look at J-Lo musically. J-Lo, the actress,
Right.
is international.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? The music, meh.
She's Jenny from the block.
She's Jenny from the block. Okay, good.
I'm still Jenny.
Yeah, nobody really cares about that piece. No disrespect, J-Lo. Hey,
Right. No, you just
none.
calling it what it is right
But
now.
that's just what it is. J-Lo, the actress,
Right.
that's international. But at the same time, this is a music thing. So let's put her with an international artist in Shakira.
Right.
Kind of balance that out.
Right.
Man, go watch that documentary that I'm telling you about with regards to Michael Jackson. Because what I found in that documentary to be absolutely amazing, the documentary again is called Explained. Michael Jackson, the voice, the singing, the technique. Explained. Michael Jackson's voice. It's on YouTube.
So who would you like to see y'all see next year at the Super Bowl?
Girl,
And
I
mind
wasn't
you,
even finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She just jumped right back to the Super Bowl. Go ahead, finish that thought.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that because next year is gonna be in New Orleans.
Next year's gonna be in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I would love to see Juvenile record, but that again is not international appeal.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That doesn't meet the mark.
Listen, what we should do is go buy Usher's album.
Okay.
as a collective, we should go buy his album. Damn if it's not our favorite iteration of Usher.
Right.
We should go buy his album and push him into that stratosphere. Because like I was saying last week, Michael Jackson and Prince, they don't need to be pushed to be in the stratosphere of ridiculousness fame.
Right.
Certain artists do. That's like, let me give you an example. The motherfucking Lakers lead the league in free throws. But they drive less to the basket than any team in the league.
Conspiracy.
That's cheating.
Yes.
We gonna make sure we get the Lakers in. So certain artists need a push.
Right.
Do you see what I'm?
Yeah.
When you talk about giants like them, they didn't need that push. And all I'm saying is we need to get behind Usher and any other black artist, known and or unknown, and push them so they can really get to that limelight that they want to be in. Because what you don't want is the system pulling the strings. You don't want the system pulling the strings because guess what? We done seen artists blow up, built up by the very system, and then torn down by the very same system.
Is the Super Bowl performance-based? Being that it's entertainment. There's a reason why I say because everybody that's performed at the Super Bowl are known for amazing performers, per se, right? So somebody like...
Except for Paul McCartney.
The reason I say that because of her question, who would be the next one? I was
She took
sitting
me
just,
off where I was going.
I was just
but
kind of
sorry.
processing that.
Lord have
I
mercy.
Well, no.
sorry,
I
I
mean,
had no weakness
I
for
think it's valid to what you're saying because
It is.
because even in that process, they still obviously have to meet some type of markers or some type of
criteria to even be on.
Right.
But
What is that? I guess that's what I'm. What are your thoughts?
my
on
thought
that?
is this, man. I don't care as long as they black. And I think Jay-Z is doing a good job. I would love to see Erykah Badu do the Super Bowl. For New Orleans?
Right.
For New Orleans. Oh, it would. Now that I personally would love that.
I'm just
forever.
saying, 'cause I'm with black folks. So
No,
that's why I said I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on Usher.
No, that's beautiful, right there.
I'm not.
dog.
What I'm saying is, when you talk about Super Bowl as a platform, what you're talking about is what you're talking about is maximum exposure.
Right.
Yeah.
And the criteria for being exposed at the maximum level is you already got to be on maximum.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, no disrespect.
Right now, I hear you.
No disrespect, like-
you're making a great argument.
Am I lying? Like, we be sitting in there with executives. They be like, yeah, Usher, that nigga cold. That's a bad motherfucker, man. Yeah. Motherfucker did his motherfucking thing. You know, young kid, first few albums, quadruple platinum, 5-time platinum, but, telling off a little bit. Got the Vegas situation together. Cool. Performance still solid. Yeah. You got to know that certain songs sound fucking mesmerizing in a 3,000-seat arena,
Right.
Yeah.
but will get lost in a 98,000-seat arena.
Yeah. So no Patti LaBelle halftime show? No.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
98,000 seats, 98,000. Certain records, niggas was like, what?
Right.
You can feel the energy is disconnected. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh no,
I was
absolutely.
not caught up.
No disrespect, man. Like, I love that brother, but Erykah Badu has a different kind of energy.
Yes.
And you couple Erykah Badu's energy with the energy of New Orleans,
Yes,
Oh,
they
my
had
God.
a Roots
Yes.
playing for her.
niggas would be
live.
naked in the stands, and lighting incense, chanting, all types of shit will happen.
That's a good. I think the Roots by themselves could.
No, they could. But
Well,
the Roots with.
the
Anybody.
Roots with, and yes,
It has to be the Roots with.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the Roots
the Roots
with.
Because no disrespect to the Roots.
Right. Yep.
That's a perfect example. We love the Roots. Black folk love the Roots.
Jimmy
not
Fallon
saying,
love the Roots.
Not saying that white folk don't love the Roots, but the Roots, listen.
the Roots with. Yeah, I
Listen,
like that.
the higher you go in musical acumen, the smaller the audience. Why the fuck you think jazz? Okay, jazz is the most complicated and rarefied form of music on planet Earth right now.
Facts.
Some people say, "Oh no, it's classical music." No, classical music doesn't fuck with jazz.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, it's okay. Just some
Right.
more shit black people created. Happy Black History Month. But again, jazz doesn't sell as much as mumble rap,
No.
right?
No.
So the higher the musical acumen, the smaller the audience. It's just really that simple. Because you know why? The average motherfucker cannot distinguish or differentiate a complex chord progression.
Right.
What the fuck?
The attention span doesn't allow for that. Like even in
Nigga need that.
yeah. I
Let that bitch swing.
yes. Yeah.
That's what Nick need right.
I would hear producers or A&Rs when you come in with jazz chords, sort of say it was too strange for them.
That's what they did with Mike.
Or they was like it's too out.
That's what they did with Mike. When Mike brings Quincy Jones to the table, CBS was like, "Oh, that's a jazz producer. We can't fuck with him.
Right.
We need disco and boogie oogie. We want Maurice White from Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's what we want."
Right.
And Mike had to convince them, like, no, Quincy. And at the time, Quincy was in his 50s and perceived as just a jazz guy. So jazz scares people because it makes you think. It takes you into a different space, right? And I'm only having this conversation because somebody left a comment in the chat. And Sarah took me off my point. I'm going to get back to it.
Oh my God.
Michael's Voice. I want y'all to go watch that damn documentary. It's important that you do so. What it showed was they broke down the whole progression of Mike from 9 years old all the way to his final record. And what they said was basically when he was a kid, they said the motherfucker had a 4-octave voice as a child, as a 9-year-old. They said he was singing with the force and the vociferation of a full-grown woman soprano.
Yeah, veracity.
Like they said, full-grown women at the soprano level, at the high F level. This dude, as a 9-year-old, was singing like that as an adult woman in terms of the notes and the range he was able to reach.
And the control.
So what they find is when you start listening, because they got all types of vocal coaches on this thing, and they said Motown basically ruined the kid's voice. Because technically a child, they said a boy tenor or a boy soprano is not supposed to sing over 1 octave because he doesn't have the corresponding vocal muscles to control, right? The vocal cords.
That hasn't developed yet.
They haven't developed yet.
Right.
He said that's why you see certain singers using their jaw and their neck muscles. So you're not supposed to use your jaw and your neck muscles to sing. That is a sign that you don't have control over the muscles around your vocal cords. They said a 9-year-old kid should not be singing at 4 octave because that's 3 octaves over the limit.
Right.
They said he's not ready physically to sing at that level. And as they're showing him, and they playing clips of him at 9, way up here at F, killing, like belting and screaming it out, right? Really giving it. By the time he progresses into Off the Wall and Thriller, you start to hear something noticeable.
Yeah, Who's Loving You is a part. Not, I'm sitting there playing that song
Come on,
right
man.
now,
Jesus.
and I'm hearing that. You're right.
That's why certain fans will say, Michael the child was the singer. Right. Michael the adult
was the entertainer.
Was the entertainer.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when you hear that little motherfucker, he was on another level, and they was, you know how it was like a factory. Motown was, okay, get in there with Smokey Robinson. All right, get in there with Marvin Gaye. Okay, get in there with Diana Ross. Okay, you know, it was just a machine, right? And really, by the time Mike becomes an adult, he gets to come back a little bit. When he was a teenager, lost some what they say, some range, because his voice was changing.
Yes.
As a teenager. But then when his voice changed and it kind of balanced out a little bit, he got a little stronger in his range at the top and in his range at the bottom.
Right.
He got a little stronger in both areas. He advanced the range.
He even got a growl.
But that's
An adult growl.
That's what they talking about. The growl comes from the damage to the vocal cords. They not saying he didn't develop that growl because he had to use it. This nigga turned the damage into an instrument because he couldn't reach the top of the range no more because of years of singing too high and too loud.
And I wonder who's
DZ?
loving you.
So when they talk about him singing too loud, they said the fucking nodules or whatever that shit develops on the vocal cords.
Yeah, the nodes.
The nodes. And by the time you hear, they said, nigga, if you keep singing this high and this loud, you know what's going to happen? Your voice is going to deepen. And then they showed the progression of his voice deepening.
Right.
To the point where he starts singing in baritone.
And we naturally, just even without vocal training, people's voices tend to get deeper as they get older.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And cigarettes.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Here we go. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to go on that tangent
No,
a
that's
little
great.
bit because somebody was like, Zoe is hating on Usher, and you know, Zoe loves Michael Jackson, and Zoe ain't gonna give Usher credit. I love Usher, man. Don't get it twisted. I love Usher.
I liken what you say to like NBA players. Like they might have been high flying dunkers early in their career, but then towards the like mid to later part of their career, they developed an amazing mid range.
There you go. Wow.
Like Kevin Durant should be in the league for at least the next 10 years.
If he could just keep healthy.
If he can stay healthy and just kill him, he'll just kill him in the mid range.
Kill him in the mid-range, man. Make it easy on yourself. You don't got to jump all off into the threes and do all that madness. Hey, listen, welcome to the ZoWhat Morning Show. Normally, I promote brands and all kind of stuff like that. But, man, I had to address a couple of things. Listen, yesterday, hey, man, you got to do this, man. What you doing next weekend?
Talk to me.
You got to do the podcast, Smoke and Mirrors.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
You got to do you smoke cigars?
No, but I smoke herb.
Well, you can't smoke herb.
No.
It's a cigar
I smoke herb
podcast.
too. You can always
But
I can
we
put-
talk music and everything, man. You
Okay.
might as well come on.
Absolutely.
Come on. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Shafiq Hussein, man. Last night we filmed 2 episodes of the Smoke and Mirrors podcast. When I tell you it was fly business, we had Idi Amin from the Outlaws. He was on. We had a major player in the cigar world, the creator and owner of the brand known as Sinistro. You know, he was talking about the practice and the process of, you know, actually creating cigars and the difference between a cigar and a cigarette and the difference between the health benefits and or lack thereof. It was a heavy dope ass show. We had a great time. Next week, I don't want to give away all of it, but we're recording 2 episodes a week right now, and the Smoke and Mirrors podcast is coming to you soon. It's myself, it's Chase Infinite, and it's actor Marvin Jones, aka Crondon. And man, when I tell you the conversations are out of this world, my homeboy Ryan Taylor from Drobe Stogies, owner of Drobe Stogies, he was there as well. It was a cold situation, so we would love to have you, man, come through.
I would love to come through.
Yeah,
That's family.
man. Absolutely,
yeah.
man. You know everybody in the building,
Yep.
Chase, Crondon, everybody. We could talk it up. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna hit them up and say, yo, man, we're gonna get Shafiq to come in and might as well just shut it down. Mm-hmm. All right, so I didn't really get a chance to promote tonight. Of course, the Situation Shift airs on OurTV.com 78. Please download the Our TV 78 app. Download. We come on at 9 p.m. and that's after my KBLA Talk 1580 show, The Voice of Reason. Yes, Zoe got a bunch of shows and all kind of stuff is happening. The Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580, the coldest relationship talk show in the world. Yeah, please don't miss it. 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then right after this goes off, The Situation Shift, my television show, comes on at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unfortunately, that is midnight on the East Coast. Midnight on the East Coast. But if you can make it, we'd appreciate it. Now, I want to get right into it.
Oh, it's one somebody just mentioned in chat. I hope we can able to get to later on.
What they mentioned in the chat?
About David Lucas.
What'd they say?
No, you know what happened with David Lucas?
No, tell me.
Okay, so David Lucas is a comedian. He went viral this past week because he's been on a lot of the blogs and everything. He actually ended up getting an emergency interview with Willie D about it. He was at the Funny Bone, and he was on stage, and he told a very tasteless joke about George Floyd. He said, why are y'all going to cut up in front of these good white people? And he started saying that George Floyd, he wouldn't have stepped on it in his neck. He would have just shot him. He just would have shot the nigga. And then he was telling them, oh, y'all, because people started getting up and leaving and fussing at him on stage or whatever and calling him out. And he said Kyle Rittenhouse is his friend too. And so he was just double downing on some crazy stuff. So when he went on Willie D, he actually told him, he said, comedy is comedy, and he's on the spectrum and all this kind of stuff, making excuses. He's a coon. And he doesn't find anything wrong with what he said because in comedy, it's free speech.
Again, listen, I want you to hear me and I want you to hear me good. Comedy is not a get out of jail free card.
Yes.
For toxicity, dysfunction, and or mental illness. And you got a lot of broken people. You got to remember, some of the greatest comics are broken internally. They're masters at turning their pain into gain and fame, right? And acclaim.
Through parody.
The perfect example of that is Richard Pryor. You know, your grandmother runs a whorehouse where your mama is one of the top hoes.
Right.
So, you understand? You gonna kiss your son goodnight with the same mouth that's been at work all day?
Oh, it ain't clocked out yet.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, whoa. Hey. Yep. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, so you got to remember, a lot of comedians will pull this is my art card.
Right.
But what's happening is you're running against this fine line of weaponizing art through unhealed trauma
Right.
We could really have that conversation. Like, you sit down and you talk to a comedian about what has been healed internally. And I think a lot of comedians are afraid to heal because if they do, they might lose the funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the brokenness and the pain for many comedians and many artists, for that matter, is their unhealed wounds. So what happens is, just like a narcissist will do some foul shit and then play victim on the foul shit that was done when they're called out on it.
Right.
So for many comedians, that's what's happening, right? They're saying, oh, well, this is my art and I get to say anything because if you can't say whatever you want to say, and I'm not saying that comedians are not Americans, number one, American comedians, right, for that matter. And I'm not saying they're not human beings. You have the right to say what you want to say. And, you know, freedom of speech and all that. I'm not in favor of censorship in any way, shape, or form. However, where's your moral compass?
Right.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, in the name of art, comedy can have no moral compass. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's the balancing act. I think that was when you was saying it, I was thinking about Dolores C. Tucker in the whole Tupac, NWA, Ice-T, Cop Killer era. I think we asked this question maybe a couple of shows back along these lines, because the argument back then also that the rappers, their response was, well, what about like movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger or, you know, and Rambo, as far as their depiction in art.
Right.
And
I remember that.
You remember that whole argument?
Yeah.
In Rambo they kill up 100 people in the movie. Does that influence society to go up and kill 100 people? Was the counter argument. Ironically, they're using that same thing right now with rap lyrics. I think with the whole YSL case, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
So
You know, that's interesting.
it's still going on,
It's still going on.
right?
No
You
country in
know.
the world has more guns per household than America.
Right.
So is your argument like the media is like astrology?
Forecasting.
So no. You know, like in astrology, they'll say, oh, the planets influence you.
Right.
But the
Right,
detractors
right.
of that will be like, that shit ain't real.
Right.
Mercury
right.
ain't fucking with you at all.
Right,
Or
there's no
Jupiter,
retrograde,
None
right.
of that shit is fucking with you. You know, that's how a scientist, a cosmologist might look at astrology.
Right.
Saying none of these things are really affecting you. Well, I think they're saying the same thing about movies in the same context of astrology. They're saying movies don't affect people like that. You got to raise your kids right. You got to be there. You got to be present, and they won't be in the streets.
But rap music does.
But rap music, on the other hand,
Right.
does. Do you see? My thought on it, again, that's a great point. My thought on it is, yeah, we're being influenced because we got more guns in our household than anybody else.
Right.
I think Rambo did influence people. Right?
Right.
You think Rambo didn't influence the prepper community? Rambo was a prepper.
yeah.
You see that motherfucker? He was out in
Right.
the woods. This nigga was doing, hey,
Who influenced children to want to be cops? The TV shows.
of Chips.
Adam 12.
Adam 12. Man.
Oh, yeah, Chip.
Everybody wanted to have a gun in their hand because of Bonanza and Big Valley.
Yeah. So
Right.
we are being influenced. We are, in my opinion, programmed even. All right, let's get to it. Some more programming.
That's David Lucas, the comedian.
And what did he do? Say
That's
something
that-
stupid?
Oh,
Cooning?
very, very, very much so stupid.
All right, you should lose your dreads. You should lose your locks.
Yeah.
All right? We'll put you on punishment. I'm not here to judge or besmirch your choices, but y'all gotta start thinking a little bit more clear. Like, comedy is not a license to injure. And a lot of these comedians think that comedy is a license to psychologically injure people.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention, look what's going on in the YouTube world. You know what the new diss battle, the new battle rap is YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Comedians are the new battle rappers.
Mm-hmm.
They're going on YouTube channels and outing everybody.
Yeah.
That's the new diss world.
Okay.
It used to be it used to be in elementary schools and high school. You used to get bagged on.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know, in front of
Bagged on,
everybody.
crumbed on,
Right,
all of it.
Snapped.
Snap.
Flamed. Yeah.
But usually the one that was doing the dangerous one that used to do the snapping back then was the one that had hands too, right?
Yeah. 'cause
You
it
can
was-
bag on somebody and still get the breaks.
Come on, man. don't speak my life right now. That's come on, man.
I used
Then
to-
you had the ones that used to snap but couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. For real, for real.
People
Yeah, but
think because I missed all those punches against Aries, I can't fight.
Right.
Don't.
Oh no. Oh.
Listen,
They don't know
do
your
you
history.
really think I wanted to hurt the man?
I can tell the way that how you was cocking at him.
Do you really think I wanted to hurt him? I just wanted him to know.
Right.
In a nanosecond, I could be on your ass for tripping. That's
Right.
all I wanted him to know.
I watched your elbow. There wasn't full extension.
I wasn't.
damn.
I could have thrown straight lefts.
You could have like took him a couple of ways.
Come on. The fuck?
And elbow, short rank.
Motherfuckers be like, he missed every one of them shots. Maybe
Nah.
not everyone, but the majority. Because I didn't really want to hurt him. I think y'all need to understand that. I needed him to know, like, this is another guy that, in my opinion, weaponizes, you know what I'm saying, the art of it. Be great at being funny. And I'm not gonna take anything away from him. I think the motherfucker is funny.
At times.
What about
No, I think he is funny.
I have a question.
Really funny.
At comedy shows, is this something that they're used to doing when they're usually roasting people?
Some comedy
You know,
shows they
some
do.
comedy shows, you sit in the front row or something like
Yeah,
that.
they call it, but the comedians call it crowd work, though. You know, they just work in the crowd and stuff like
Right.
that.
So what about that? This crowd work, has it been incorporated into social media?
What do you mean?
Meaning, like what we're talking about, we're saying that ones is going after ones in such a way that's tasteless, but then, and they kind of do it at comedy shows. I say ones
I
that go
seen it
overboard.
happen.
Yeah.
I seen it happen back in the 90s, man. I was at a goddamn Robin Harris show.
Ooh. The goat. Is,
And we had performed at that show, and Robin Harris was, hey, that shit was funny as hell, by the way. But Robin was hosting it, and he was roasting everybody in the audience. So what I noticed was, let's see, who else was there? Louis Dix. This when Louis Dix was a superstar. He was like the next motherfucking Bill Cosby.
was he Calvin yet at McDonald's?
When I tell you this motherfucker Louis Dix was large. So Louis Dix was there, and then what's the girl? AJ
AJ Johnson?
Johnson. This is in the 90s. So my homeboy, who was the DJ for the event at the time, he's this big fat dude, you know, and he had a big fat white girl as his girlfriend. And they made the mistake of sitting front row. Now, you know, Robin Harris is going, doo-doo-doo. Robin touched him up a little bit. But you know, Robin was a great comedian, so he could transition from that into material and go other places. But as the show went on, comedians started coming out and they trying their material out. And if the material stopped working, their default was the two fat people,
Right.
the black and white fat couple up front. So, and one of the worst to do it, fucking Louis Dix. And years later, the same DJ did an event for me where I'm hosting a relationship roundtable, and The DJ is DJing for me. Louis Dix is there, and I put them two together and reminded Louis Dix of what he did. And Louis was like, "Oh, I remember that." And I was like, "Yeah, nigga, this is the nigga you did that to."
Ooh.
And as a man, Louis apologized and was like, "Man, I apologize, man. I was a different guy back then. I was all in my ego and who I am and blah blah blah." AJ, what's her name? Johnson.
AJ Johnson.
Her material lasted 30 seconds before she jumped on them,
She not even looking.
and it was terrible. So sometimes comics will weaponize snapping on the audience when the material's not working. Now, let me get to this damn topic I've been trying to get to.
I'm sorry.
It's fucked up because I used to watch the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm from Tennessee. We used to watch Hee Haw. Y'all remember Hee Haw? The country racist version of In Living Color with no color. That's all that was on TV was Hee Haw. Hee ha ha ha. I watched Hee Haw. I'm sorry. So you know I watched the goddamn Dukes of Hazzard. Bo and Luke Duke.
Mo and Luke Duke.
Crazy Cooter. Them Dukes. God damn, man, this hurt my heart. Dukes of Hazzard star John Schneider blasts Beyonce for new country album. Sarah, can you read the article? Because I be getting pissed. Okay. I don't even want to read the article because can you read the article for me?
Okay, I sure will. I got to pull it up right here.
You follow me, Sarah. Damn.
I'm sorry. Okay. Former Dukes of Hazzard star John Schneider is sharing his 2 cents on the recent Beyonce controversy. For those not in the know, Beyonce recently launched 2 country songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. Let's see. A radio station garnered controversy for refusing to play the former at a fan's request. Speaking with One America News Network, Schneider slammed Beyonce for her new country music. He responded to the question by the host, "The lefties in the entertainment industry just won't leave any area alone, right? They just have to seize control over every aspect, don't they?" Schneider had a crude analogy for Beyonce and her attempt to break into country music. "They've got to make their mark, just like a dog in a dog walk park," Schneider said.
Okay, stop.
Back to you, though.
Hey, listen.
Oh, wow.
Can I just say this, John?
Right.
Should I say it?
Please.
Fuck you, man. Let me just tell you now. White folk ain't never created no style of music. Country is black music. Jazz is black music. Rhythm and blues is black music. Rock is black music. All of it is black music.
Yes.
You know the history. You finna tell me. Who's considered the first country western star? White boy. White person.
White person, country.
If you didn't create your own whiskey, Jack Daniels.
Oh, Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest. We know you wasn't high enough or fucked up enough to create country music. Mm-hmm. Country music is adjacent to the blues because it's telling stories. It's talking about struggles and sorrows. And who has been in more sorrow in this motherfucking country than anybody else? Elvis stole his whole style from a black man.
Yeah, going to the tent revivals.
Do y'all remember the black man that Elvis stole the whole style from?
Oh, I can't remember his name.
No disrespect. I'm going to say this real quick. No
Teach the
disrespect.
truth.
I'm going to say this real quick. No disrespect. No disrespect. But in every genre of black music, there is an Eminem.
Right.
There is a white person that can do it like us.
Yeah.
Or at least to the level of us. In every genre, there is a white person that can do it to our level. And when that happens, they get elevated above us.
For every tank, there's a Sam Smith.
That's the man's name, Otis Blackwell.
Yes.
Robin Thicke.
Otis Blackwell. That's the dude who is the father of Elvis's style. Listen, y'all don't have a style, John Snyder.
Teach.
See, you want to go on the political side because you've been programmed by your other religion, which is patriotism,
Right.
right? And for many Southerners, especially white Southerners, your patriotism is rooted in racism.
Yeah.
So you don't want to admit that. South Carolina was the first one to throw that salvo. They said, you know what, we're going to secede because I see the government is getting too much power and eventually they're going to come fuck with slavery. And slavery is our way of life. God ordained our way of life. That was the South. And many white Southerners had that thought process. And you can see the vestiges of it in existence today within the Republican Party.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then just because the Democratic Party are better at hiding it doesn't mean that white folk collectively don't really fuck with black folk.
Right.
And for you to have the audacity, there's nothing in art that you created that black folk haven't mastered before you even were aware of it.
Right.
There's nothing in artistry.
There's definitely no, we haven't co-opted any musical form that they created.
They didn't create a musical form. Nothing. You say, oh, they did classical. Really? Did you? Well, they say Mozart and Beethoven, all the motherfuckers was black.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, the whole, even the music scales coming from, were taught by Moors.
Come on, man. Tell us about it.
I mean, you wouldn't even have what you call theory, pentatonic scales. I mean, what we did naturally, we already just knew how to do that. But to put it in a theory that people can understand what we were doing, that's still us behind that.
And did you say any of this shit about Darius Rucker?
Because he blowing fish? Okay.
Darius Rucker
Oh, sorry. No.
Right.
jumped right into the country space.
Right.
Yeah, and they didn't have a word to say about Darius Rucker. What about Charlie Pride?
Oh, Charlie Brown.
Many of you white folk love you some Charlie Pride. Huh?
These are good.
Are you saying y'all, is it cultural? Are you saying we're culturally appropriating country music?
That's what it sounds like.
Because Beyonce is singing. Beyonce can sing whatever the fuck she wants. Guess what? She from Houston, Texas, so she country.
That part.
They sound down, baby.
So you trying to say she didn't like country music or she don't have the talent to execute country music? You know she does it better than all of you. You listen, by default, no disrespect. This is not racist. Black people are magical.
Right.
We roll out of bed just more talented. This is why you have so many sociological constructs to lock us down to where we don't connect with knowledge of self. We don't connect with who we really are because nigga, let me tell you something. Black people like powder. Y'all remember that movie Powder?
Yes, the forks used to be attracted to him.
Listen, black people are powder in that fucked up little school.
Right.
And many black people are sitting there and the electricity is bubbling and motherfucker powder bust that light and say,
Okay.
how long you think I'm gonna allow you to keep me here, right?
Right.
Many black people are like that with y'all. Y'all keep coming out fucking with us when we do great shit. You gonna get powderized fucking around. How long do you think I'm gonna let you keep me here? Huh? Where's the powder clip, man? But find that powder clip.
Powder clip? I will. But you also, growing up, I'm from Houston as well. Shout out. But we grew up with the Houston
City.
Livestock Show and Rodeo, one of the biggest rodeos in the world, and where they give out a lot of scholarship money. My first concert in my whole entire life was Reba McEntire. I still remember it.
We
remember it
love
from the
Reba
Astrodome.
McEntire.
Yeah, but we grew up, so we country. Country music and Zydeco go hand in hand.
Right. And
Let me just say
and
this.
bluegrass.
We
Yes.
love all that shit, but who created ragtime?
Oh, black
Right.
people.
Scott Joplin. Black
Yes,
man,
Joplin,
right?
Absolutely.
What came out of ragtime? Blues.
Right.
Who created blues? What came out of blues? Rock and roll. Who created rock and roll? Did you know Eddie Van Halen and the whole Van Halen group was from Pasadena? Pasadena, California. Eddie Van Halen and his brother went to Pasadena High School. Motherfucking, what's my man? David Lee Roth. And I think David Lee Roth went to John Muir. The bass player went to Pasadena High or something like that, or Blair or some shit. Now, did you know that their mother was Filipino?
No.
Oh, these motherfuckers track as white, though. Their daddy was a white man from Europe that settled in Pasadena. Got a Filipino wife and had them 2 boys. But you would have never known, right? Throughout the history of Van Halen, because rock and roll in that context, big hair bands and all that shit, tracked as white.
Right.
That's white music. Where the fuck you listen to Hot for Teacher? That's rhythm and blues. That is the blues. Those are blues riffs. How does motherfucker get so? The brother is a virtuoso at the drums, right? Alex, but he doesn't start with the drums. He starts with the guitar. Eddie starts with the drums or the piano or some shit. And then they switched. And then Eddie becomes this virtuoso guitarist. And the brother becomes virtuoso drummer. Philippines. Melanin. Please understand something about melanin. It is the rhythm of the universe.
Right.
It is the rhythm of the universe, man.
It is the rhythm of the night. Oh.
Y'all gotta stop. Listen, nobody on planet Earth is a larger cultural appropriator than white folk. You've been doing it your whole lives. You were envious of Egypt, so you modeled your whole society after Egypt. You was begging to get into the mystery schools. The Moors even taught you the ways of masonry. Can we get into that?
They wanted to get into the log cabins, a.k.a. the lodge.
They wanted to get into the lodges.
That they were calling temples.
Why did the Moors give you the information?
And how to bathe.
Because you were a rabid dog. And if we wouldn't have taught you the science, you would have destroyed. Well, you did anyway. You took the science and said, well, fuck it, let's weaponize the science. We gave you the science to civilize your spirit. We made a mistake. We probably should have just killed you. I'm sorry, but we understood karma. You think karma comes out of India?
The Arabic word for moon, which is a cycle, is karma.
Come on, man. We created it all. We're everywhereans. We created it all. There's no way. Who is this? Luke Duke? There's no way Luke Duke. Is this Bo Duke? Which one? Is this Bo or Luke?
I think it's,
This
I
might
think
be
it's
Luke.
Okay. I have a little fun fact though.
Yeah.
Scott Joplin, I was the youngest member at the time to ever play with the Scott Joplin Symphony out of Houston. It was the only, at the time, it was the only all black chamber orchestra. Scott Joplin.
Okay.
Look it up.
Back to you, Zoe.
Back to you, Zoe. I'm just saying, but he, in talking about classical music, like, you know.
Hey,
out
listen.
there.
Let me just say this. This is Bo Duke right here. Let me just say
Oh,
this,
it's
man.
Bo. Okay.
Y'all playing games on the support. It's 400 people in here, and we got like one super chat and one cash app. That's unacceptable. If you guys enjoy the content, if you're having fun, if I'm helping you pass the day at work, man, the least y'all could do is scroll to the bottom of the chat and hit that $. Please show your sincere respect and love for the show. Man, just go down to that $, and drop a 5 spot on today's topic, man. We're having a good time, and I think you guys should support. And another way to support is hit the like buttons. Nearly 400 people in here. Please continue to support. Please continue to support. All right? Somebody mentioned in the chat room Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know it wouldn't be no shredding. That's what they call when the guitarist does wouldn't be no shredding to the degree that there is if it wasn't for the innovative artistry of Jimi Hendrix. Many of your modern rockers and rockers from the 70s and 80s and on up modeled themselves after Jimi.
Right.
Played left-handed, guitar upside down, didn't have a lot of the pedals that a lot of these guitarists have today to manipulate the sounds and bending of notes. Many of them got that little bar on the side. He didn't have any of that and innovated the sounds to where they had to create those things in order to copy what Jimi was doing. Mm-hmm. So, and I know you might think I'm belaboring the point. What I'm saying is Beyonce is one of our superstars. And if it wasn't for Beyonce, where the gap is between Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Do you notice the black folk always come up with somebody that filled the gap after somebody else falls off? Have you noticed that?
Right.
It don't come from white America. Now, y'all can say, what's that little white girl at the Super Bowl?
Taylor Swift.
Y'all can say Taylor Swift all day. Ain't what? Ain't nobody really listening to her. White folk listening to her. There's 80 million white households. That's who listening to Taylor Swift.
Right.
Yeah, her tour actually made more money than Beyonce. People
I
don't want to believe it, but it's true.
I believe it. How much more did it make?
I can find that number out for you. But in the meantime, back to you, Zo.
No, and I'm going to tell you why this makes sense. 80 million white households in America. Mm-hmm. 14 million black households. If Beyonce's numbers is anywhere near Taylor Swift's, that means Beyonce is getting the money from her community and Taylor Swift's community. If those numbers are comparable, Beyonce's getting her people's money and Taylor Swift's people's money.
Okay. Oh.
80 million white households, 83 million white households, 14 million black households.
Taylor Swift made a whopping $1.04 billion
Bow.
on her tour.
Boop, boop.
Let me see what Beyonce.
What, 500, 400?
Renaissance revenue. Let's see here. Beyonce, ooh, sorry about that, B. She got a whopping 579 million.
Nigga, 600 million.
Versus 1 billion.
That's fine. Who's gonna sneeze at 600 million? Well, we failed.
Right.
The fan base, the audience is bigger, but Beyonce rakes in 600. Okay, y'all, I don't know what. Okay, cool. So that's the point I'm trying to make. A lot of times, man, like I said, if Beyonce's numbers are somewhere near, that's saying she get money from both sides. And to me, Beyonce is one of those transcendent artists that come from the black community. We always produce them. Long line of transcendent artists. So
Right.
after Beyonce, there will be another. And Beyonce, man, she get to sing country music. And white folks should just, mind your business. When it comes to black magic and creativity and shit that we've mastered, just be quiet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Sam Smith coming out talking about, oh, Michael Jackson, I don't really like his stuff.
Are you serious?
Sam,
Weirdo.
shut the fuck up. Yo corny, goofy ass wish you had the career of Michael Jackson.
Right.
Speak nothing against The motherfucker you chasing.
The king of pop.
You chasing the king of... You think your music that good? Do you know a Sam Smith song?
No.
Sarah do.
Stay with me. Yes.
I don't even know who you even talking about.
I do, but he's gone more viral with actually his meeting with the 5 Down syndrome drag queens. That's recently been in the paper.
I don't even know who you were talking about.
He won the Grammy last year for a song "Unholy," and it was the first one. He's gay, but it was the first trans person that was like the featured on there. That did. It was very crazy. He's out there.
He ain't good either.
And that was a reference.
He all right. I've heard some of his stuff. He all right. He all right.
Yeah, but people on the chat, they're talking about the Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce and Taylor Swift is like, oh, your mama cooking. Beyonce is more your mama cooking. She have all these ingredients to make this big old pot of gumbo or whatever. Taylor Swift is the fine dining. We want every ingredient to breathe. You know what I'm saying? What
But
nice
says?
clean things.
Right.
Who says?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's more. They're selling you less. They're selling you less for more. You know what I'm saying? And Beyonce, she's giving more for less. It's just there's a whole white culture does that to make you think that simplicity is elegance when. I'll stop. I'll just. I don't like.
So, black people created the banjo out of Africa.
Oh yes, here we go.
The enslaved folks came over here, and enslaved Africans brought memories of their handmade string instrument traditions with the stick and created the damn banjo.
Banjo.
That's country music, right?
The
The accounting, right? A folk, and this is a folk lute of the Jola people.
Yes.
From the Senegambia region, one of the many banjos that were created by Africans. You don't have country music without the banjo.
And the blues scale is in the native, the indigenous tribes in America too.
How about it?
The same chord. It's the pentatonic scale.
Come on, man. Like, come on. Banjo was created, man, by enslaved Africans and their descendants in the Caribbean and colonial North America. Here they maintained and perpetuated their tradition within a complex system of slave labor camps. We made the banjo.
And the blues scale was already embedded in the harmonies.
So is it cultural appropriation?
Was it banjo?
Come on, man.
No.
Come on, yo.
No, it's the purpose of CRT.
CRT, critical race theory. God damn.
That's the reason they wanted out of the schools so they can get away.
Well, this
with
gonna be the CRT course. Y'all tune in for the CRT course here. You stole everything. Is that racist to say that white people stole everything? I mean, Bill Gates.
I mean, there was a Berlin conference, and that Berlin conference, they openly said there was the carving or the hacking up of Africa, and that concept wasn't relegated to just the continent of Africa. Before the Berlin conference, they referred to the whole world as Africa.
Wouldn't that mean black folks are everywhereans? We're from everywhere on this motherfucker?
Everywhereans.
That's what I've been saying. That's your new record. You might as well write it.
Everywhereans.
Everywhereans. That's who we are. I've been saying it for years. We are everywhereans. I don't like it when you get certain people that just say, we're just from Africa. Or you get certain people that say, no, we're from Earth.
We're older than dirt and earth and births. We're older than that.
Every place you go on planet Earth, you go back, you're going to find that the origin of that place is black. Now, I'm using black in
Connotatively speaking.
right as a connotative reference, because people, "Oh, wait a minute, we not black, we not a color. Okay, we not a Crayola. I understand, I got you, but I'm using it connotatively just so people who don't understand that conversation about status, about citizenship, capital C versus lowercase c, people who don't know private and public, we're not
Just know who we talking. We talking to you.
we talking to you, right?
Our folks.
Our folks. Everywhereians, man. That's what we are. And the white folk that came up out of us as a mutated whatever was envious of their maker. Envious of their mother and father. And then tried to steal everything and bury it and demonize it and tell you can't follow your own shit, which you wrote, your knowledge of self, and then turn around and say, if you do the shit we stole from you, you're culturally appropriating us.
It's interesting you said that you wanted to talk about masonry in relationship to this because, there were 15 ruffians, as they would say.
I'm listening.
And of those 3 who hit Hiram in the head and left him.
Hiram Abiff.
Yes, which is us.
Mm-hmm. We got hit in the head.
And left in the North Gate in a shallow grave. Those 3 ruffians, some would say, were the European, Arab, and Jew.
Keep going.
They said that these 3 worked together against the other. They would sort of say the seditious band that you read about when Jesus is on the cross. You have Pilate. Well, I should say you have Pilate, who's the Roman emperor, but then
Pontius Pilate.
Pilate, but then you have Barabbas and Jezia.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Caiaphas, who's the ruler of the ruling class Jews.
Mm-hmm.
They are working together to free Barabbas, whose name is Jesus too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
For those, Jesus was a title back. So that particular group of people,
Savior, Yeshua.
yes.
Uh-huh.
So they were basically pulling the scapegoat move. They were going to discharge the debt.
Azazel, the scapegoat, spoken of in Genesis, when Abraham replaced his son, when the angel stepped in and said, "Don't kill your son, we were just testing you. Grab that goat that's caught in the thicket behind you." Azazel, this is where you get scapegoat from.
Right.
Hiram Abiff, what happens when you get blunt head trauma if you don't die?
Loss of memory.
Amnesia. And in this case, spiritual amnesia.
In the North Gate, America, or the north
Turtle Island, right?
northwest of Maxim.
Come on, man. Come on. You say, why are you going through all this Black History Month? That's why.
Right.
And you got white folk out here trying to make a big deal about a sister singing country music. A sister can sing whatever the fuck she want to sing. She's an extension of our creative force. Beyonce gets to sing that. Period.
She got birthrights to that.
She got birthrights to that. Period, point blank, as they say, right? Why y'all resistant to a black woman singing country music better than y'all? Let her sing the way she sang, man. Get out of her way. And don't try to politicize it, talking about the left and all of this. You just go sit down. This is an artist who went in the studio and created a fucking country western record. And that's enough on that. What else we got, Sarah?
We have.
Hey, I want to tell y'all right now, though.
Okay.
Please continue to hit the super chat. We need y'all to support this channel. Oh, by the way, we only have maybe 10, 12 bottles of He Is Risen left. There's only 10, 12 bottles of He Is Risen. If you don't know about He Is, listen. I love skeptics. I ain't gonna tell you who called me this weekend asking for the secret ingredient. I ain't gonna say nothing.
And I rise up.
I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna tell nobody who called and was like, "Bruh, what's the secret ingredient?" I ain't gonna tell you who called me, but somebody called me
After they grand rising.
after they. What the hell is in there?
He said Grand Rising.
Yeah.
The grand rising, right? Once you downshift, you be like, "What the fuck?"
Hey,
I
hello.
thought this was a 4-cylinder. This motherfucker done boosted up to 12.
Like,
A
whoa, whoa, whoa.
V12.
You understand?
Can I cut this with some water?
When I tell you, people really be hella skeptical. They be hella skeptical. They'll call me and be like, "Man, I heard you say that this was the real deal. Okay, nigga. How much you say it is? Okay. This how much it costs? Damn, only 8 pills for that. Oh, nigga, damn."
So it's about grand rising. Indeed. Yourself, Greg Scott.
Hey, listen, after they get a tang of that thing,
My Lord. Yeah. Hey.
after they get a tang of that thing,
They become the Lord.
motherfuckers be on the phone like this, like that monkey. Remember that monkey that was on the phone getting cussed out?
It's stressed out. It's super stressed.
I'm telling you, man. They call me with the testimony.
Oh. Giving honor to His Risen.
And I love it when they ask what's in it. I be like, I don't know what the fuck is in it. Dr. Russell created it.
Monkey dangling and tree swinging.
Hey,
So I want
know,
everybody
all them
to
branches.
continue to support Total Package Energy. Go to
Oh, let me
totalpackageenergy.com.
talk about
Please continue to support Total Package Energy, black-owned business. I'm urging y'all to keep this business in business because they, like me, like other black businesses that I know, have been struggling. And I know I got to change my model. I got to do something different. Hey, listen, if you guys know anybody out there that is good at doing webinars or seminars, I'm ready to do another relationship roundtable seminar that I can present to you guys. But I need somebody to handle the back end, people who know how to run, the Zoom and marketing and promote it. And I'm willing to give whoever knows how to do that work, I'm willing to give you guys a commission, which is a share of the total revenue produced from the masterclass. So if you know anybody out there that is capable of producing, that kind of masterclass or webinar-esque environment, I'm willing to broker a deal with you and give you some of the proceeds that will come from that. But yes, we cannot let Total Package Energy as a business go out of business. I want everybody to go over to their website right now. Also, I want you guys to support, you already know what it is, Russell Herbals.
Yeah.
Russell Herbals. If it wasn't for Russell Herbals, there would be no Grand Rising.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Russell Herbal, listen, Russell Harrison is the one who created it. And when I tell you the man got 20 different blends, he said, "Zo, listen, man, I got over 20 blends of this that I've been working on for years." I get that phone call.
Dang.
"Hey, what's the secret ingredient?
Hey,
What's in there?"
I won't tell his secret.
What's it?
No.
Was it?
Secrets.
Did y'all put white pepper in there? It's white pepper. Oregano.
Oh, oregano.
Paprika.
What you got in there? There's smoked paprika.
Right.
Sazon. You got some Sazon up in there?
Ooh.
What the
little
fuck? Hey,
Sazon.
y'all got to go to russellherbals.com. Please continue to support. And then, of course, your brother Zoe Williams. I need your support. We ask you guys to get on there, man, and support the channel. like I said, let's get a roll call. Let's get about 10 people to hit that super chat button, and just 10 of y'all giving $5 will make this. Sarah,
Yeah.
tell us right now how much we got. I don't mind.
Right now in the super chat,
60.
the revenue is $76.45. Back to you, Zo.
We have $76.45. That's less than $1 a person. We got nearly 400 people in the chat. Now, I don't understand what it is about your reluctance to support, but please support this channel. As a matter of fact, I want y'all to go support my brother, Shafiq Hussein.
Yeah.
He has an entire discography of amazing music, man. He is a slept-on producer, in my opinion. In my opinion, more people should know about you. But in the right circle, everybody know about you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I know the circle that know about you, right? Man, what's your latest project, and why should everybody tap in, and which record should they go for?
Latest album out right now, Soul Gold. I would say, for those who are Anderson .Paak fans, go listen to a song called Crush You.
Crush You.
Crush You, featuring Anderson .Paak.
Nice.
We have about almost 3 million streams.
3 million streams. Damn. Now, you already know the whole stream talk. How much do you get per million streams?
Close to 2,000 every million.
That ain't no money.
So you really got to push this motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, let's say for every million, let me take that back. For every million, is almost about $7,000 generated. Depending on the artist's contract, they usually wind up somewhere in between maybe 2,500 to maybe 3,000. If they're independent, they usually make a majority of the money. But a lot of people don't realize, well, I should say, don't know that the major labels pretty much own all of the DSPs anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So these motherfuckers set the market value.
Right.
So who's the genius that said, for every million streams, it's going to be worth $7K?
Right. So they went to Congress and everything to do this calculation, because they still had to
quantify the value of the record that's streaming.
So I guess so how about this? For every 1,200 streams, that qualifies one play, the equivalent of one record sold. How about that?
So 1,200 streams, quote unquote, plays
qualifies
as a sell.
The equivalent
of one
sell.
Record sale.
Correct.
Who did that?
Who came up with the metrics?
Who came up with
and so it's like the inside trading secret, if you will.
But this isn't the first time they've done that.
Nah.
They did that with radio with spins.
And that part right there, because a lot of art, and then imagine if artists who are ignorant to things like license syncs, performance syncs.
Come on, performance rights,
and all of
ASCAP,
that.
BMI,
Yeah.
CSEC.
They missing all of this other that goes into an escrow account, because they consider it abandoned property, unclaimed property. And so who goes to claim it? The ones that know about it.
That's crazy.
Does it sound any different than Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? How they sequester your audience? They limit the audience that could actually reach you. These motherfuckers said, we're going to limit the revenue that can reach you.
I've been at 15,000 followers on my IG for the past 5 years. I have not crossed that threshold, and I've had more views on views and stuff like that and whatnot. But what you're saying is absolutely correct. The algorithm is rigged.
And you know what's crazy? Last week, I had been at 71.9, 71.8. Bro, in a week, over the last 28 days, as it says, but most of this happened in a week, 600 subscribers because the algorithm shifted over the past week. 600 subscribers in a week. We're over 72,000 and well over for the first time. We're at 72.5, 72.497. We were at 72.507, but then slowly but surely they trickle away. They know how to manipulate your algorithm. This is why we ask people to hit the like button when they come in. This is why we ask people to participate, right? This is why we ask them to participate. The actual number here is 72,497. It's been going down since last Thursday, where last Thursday it was at 72,507. This is why we ask you to hit the like button, the super chat, the Cash App, whatever you could do to support, because listen, they're not trying to make guys millionaires on this platform. Because if they allow people to come in, do you know how many people we would reach and how many people we would touch? They have to be able to mitigate and control certain voices, to the best of their ability, right? They have to be able to do that. There's a reason why certain voices get out there. I'm going to tell you, ignorance sells.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, buffoonery sells. I'm going to tell you, self-hate sells. I'm going to tell you, dysfunction sells.
My Lord.
There's a lot of goofiness that sells. Trust me when I tell you. All right? Yeah. I want y'all to understand that.
I'm at about, on Spotify, I'm at 65,000 monthly listeners. But if you line that up with the algorithm that we just talked about on IG, well, IG is a place where you don't sell music,
right?
One. But it's a place where you promote
right.
the demonstration from. So these numbers should reflect a little bit more in the IG world. So somebody has to obviously be tampering with or putting some type of cap.
Right. Absolutely. Definitely not trying to see you reach your full potential.
Right.
Your maximum potential. That's definitely not what they're trying to do. Listen, y'all, you've been watching the ZoWhat morning show. Zoe Williams is about to get up out of here.
Oh, you're going to do another one?
Do we have another story?
Oh, you have a couple.
Hold on. I just want to say this,
okay.
man. I'm urging y'all to support this channel. I'm urging y'all to support everything that I'm doing because I got some shit coming. The new book. Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'll be reading something, finally reading something to you. I really don't want to read anything to you because I don't want to let this idea that I have come out the box just yet. I've been holding on to it for a couple of years. All right. I kind of don't want to read anything to you. I kind of want to, I almost don't even want to promote this book. I just wanted to come out on y'all last one day like, bow, there it is. But it's an amazing new book that I'm working on. I think it's the greatest work that I think it's the most coherent, the clearest, the most succinct work. And when I tell you I have systematically deconstructed all of the ideas in the previous books, like it doesn't invalidate the work in the previous books, but it elevates. Man, when I tell you we're in another space on this new book, I think I think this is the one. I'm really like, oh my goodness. And when you see how we framed it. These are all the concepts and ideas that do you know on the ZoWhat morning show, not the ZoWhat morning show, on the Voice of Reason show, I purposely not talk about the content in that book. And previous to that, like when the Relationship Dismount was out or coming out, when the Relationship Dismount was coming out in 2015, when I'm doing relationship shows, I'm sharing ideas and concepts from that book. 2019, the holographic relationship. Before the book come out, I'm sharing concepts and principles about relational holography, right? 2021, when the Shrouded Lighthouse is coming out, I'm sharing concepts about the lighthouse theory that I have. I have purposely not shared any concept from the new book on the Voice of Reason relationship show. I have forced myself not to talk. I really want to start teaching out of the book. That's why I'm asking anybody out there who knows how to do the behind the scenes production of like a webinar or, you know, a master class. I would be willing to do, you know, a hella commission for you to come in and produce that for me, because it's time for another workshop, and I would love for you guys to sign up to it. But we need you to promote this channel and support this channel and all that we do. Listen, what other topics do we have?
I mean,
I'm ready to go.
There you go. Okay, like there's two other, well, a couple others, but one of them being the whole thing with Kanye West and Jay-Z, and then you have, of course, you have the Florida permission slip situation.
We gotta do the damn permission slip.
You want to go to the permission slip?
Yeah, read it to us.
Okay. One moment, please. All right.
All right. Hey, everybody drop a 5 spot on the super chat. Can we get to at least $100 tonight? Today.
Can y'all hit your girl up too on the Sundays with Sarah?
And hit Sarah up.
Hit your girl, thank
Sarah was the Sarah Sundays with Sarah.
you. Sundays with
$
Sarah.
Sundays with Sarah. And then I also want you to support my brother Shafiq Hussein.
Yes.
Why don't you?
$ John, what is it? John's L 777. Please support. All right.
All right. A controversial parental rights law in Florida is facing renewed scrutiny after a rule about parental permission slips sparked confusion at a Miami elementary school when it asked parents to sign a slip allowing their children to hear a guest speaker read a book written by an African American. Charles Walter, a parent of 2 at Coral Way K-8 Center in Miami, shared a Miami-Dade public school permission slip on social media Monday that described an in-school library event for his daughter's first grade class. The student would participate and listen to a book written by an African American, while guests for the activity were described as firemen, doctors, and artists. I have to give a permission slip for this. Well, no, hold on. I had to give permission for this, or else my child would not participate, Walter wrote. He told the Washington Post in an interview this was the first parental permission slip he received since the policy took effect last fall, but has since received others. Back to you, Zoe. This is crazy. No? Okay.
I mean, what can I say?
Oh.
I mean, can you say, you know it's wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But what can I say? Get out? Leave? Okay, say you leave. Lesser of two evil life.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because white folk everywhere. White folk in the South, white folk in the Northeast, white folk in the Midwest, white folk in the Northwest, white folk in the Southwest, white folk all over the place. So you're going to get a variation of white folkism wherever you go, right? It just so happens that the Florida white folkism, you got to get a permission slip to read a book by a black author.
That's so crazy.
That's that CRT, in effect.
Listen, you can't undo what the South did in the inception of this country. You can't undo it. Your prime reason for the Civil War was because you thought the U.S. government had the power to overturn slavery, in which it did. You know why? Because of the Constitution. The Constitution is a set of ideas, right? If you go outside of the ideas in much the same way as the Quran, do not add anything to it or take anything from it. Just like the Bible, shall not one dot or one tittle in no wise be changed from the law. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Constitution operates under the same principle.
That part.
So take it. Listen, when Andrew Jackson was like, you know what, we need a national bank. There was no purview in the Constitution for that. So guess what? U.S. law is based on what? Precedents? Mm-hmm. They knew if we get this motherfucker a bank,
he's going to make it.
And that's outside of the purview of the Constitution.
Yep.
Now they can basically do anything. This is what the South was afraid of.
Right.
So when they said, okay, well, you know, Andrew Jackson was like, we need the goddamn bank now. As a government, we're going to need a damn bank. But when you sign off on shit like that, which is outside of the Constitution, you need the Constitution less to do shit.
Right.
So the South was keeping a keen eye on shit like, you about to fuck with our way of life. And our way of life says niggas is baggage, property. Niggas are iPhones, right?
Niggas are iPhones.
And niggas are computers.
Mm-hmm. And they got serial numbers and
that's our way of life.
Yes.
Right? The modern day South still has the vestiges of that psychology.
Yeah, it's 100% on display. That's well. It's interesting you say that because the CRT that they trying to eradicate is for the prevention of white guilt.
Well, CRT, critical race theory, was put together by some lawyers because they wanted to tell a clinical, factual side of exactly what the fuck happened.
Right.
Through a legal and clinical lens in terms of, nigga, this is slavery. This is what the fuck happened.
Right.
The pushback is if you tell what the fuck happened, you gonna hurt the hearts of little white kids.
Right.
You're gonna offend their little souls, and they probably don't even need to know nothing about any of this ancestral shit that they did. That's the pushback on CRT. So it was critical race theory was used as a means to really educate on exactly what went down. Mm-hmm. No. We don't want to know that. And unfortunately,
we don't want anybody to know about this.
This is why we're here.
Right.
Even during the Civil War, the South thought, you know what, fuck the North. Fuck y'all. You know how much cotton, we got the best cotton in the world. All these French motherfuckers and English motherfuckers and Dutch, these motherfuckers walking around in Southern cotton, my nigga. Their whole lives is different because of this cotton that's coming out of the South. Fuck y'all. They tried to do business. But when that Civil War started, you know what happened? Europe said, listen, we don't want to get involved. We're going to go to Egypt and get that Egyptian cotton. We're going to go back to Africa.
Right.
We're going to get that Egyptian cotton. So when I see shit like this, it's hard for me to say, like, black folk, why would you stay there? I would bounce like bad checks. But listen, y'all got me going longer than I wanted to go. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I've been trying to encourage you guys to support. But I hope to see y'all tonight on my VOR Voice of Reason show. Like I said, I'd love to see y'all tonight. I hope you guys tap in. KBLA Talk 1580. Please call me. Please jump in there. Zoe Williams, I got to go. Deuces.